Good evening. He was wounded on the battlefield and taken prisoner by the Nazis. But back home in Toronto, Louis Gelman didn't talk about that much.
The veteran didn't seek out recognition, but Veterans Affairs told him he could be recognized for his service through a one-time payment. That is, until he died. Shannon Martin is here with this CBC Toronto News exclusive for us tonight. So Shannon, his death, that's where the story takes a turn.
Yes, and the family really got two surprises here. First, that he could come into some compensation, but then when he died, the government said he no longer qualified. His daughter says really that is not fair and that he deserves this money.
I joined the Army because I felt that they needed help.
Louis Gelman didn't often open up about his time in the war, but he broke his silence a few years ago as part of a Veterans Affairs initiative called the Memory Project.
When I was wounded, they took me into a German hospital. And from there, I went to Hamburg, Germany, in a camp there for prisoners of war.
The recording of his voice, now something his daughter, Gail Baker, holds dear.
He was POW, prisoner of war. He said that he was very fortunate and didn't die because he was short and everybody was dead who was over 6 feet. That was his impression. And he was under the radar.
He lived his life that way too after the war, never really revealing much about his service. Then unexpectedly, something came in the mail.
Yes, this was the first letter that I got in 2014.
It was from Veterans Affairs Canada. It said Gelman may qualify for a one-time payment under the Pension Act.
I just thought, this is great.
Gail admits it took her several months to respond, but she did by registered mail last October. She says Veteran Affairs told her over the phone everything looked good and to expect news in about 3 weeks. But fall turned into winter, and in January, Louis Gelman died.
As soon as he passed away, I got the letter pretty quickly.
The letter reads in part, "Well, unfortunate Mr. Gelman died prior to receiving the one-time payment decision. Veterans Affairs Canada must adhere to the legislation," adding, "If at the time of death there is no survivor or no dependent child, no amount is to be paid."
We are now not eligible.
Baker filed an appeal months ago. She still has so many questions.
Why was it sitting there? Why did it not get looked at until after my dad died?
She wonders if other families of veterans have experienced the same frustrations, promises of compensation, then nothing.
To have the final chapter being written this way is really sad.
So we've been in touch with Veteran Affairs all day on this, and we got a response just a few minutes ago. The ministry says it is going to get in touch with the family and it will review the case, but for privacy reasons, it wouldn't give us much more than that.
Yeah, they didn't ask for it. You offered it. They filled out the paperwork while he's alive, and then you don't follow through in time. How much money are we talking about here?
Well, as you saw from the letters, it was never specified how much money. This was something announced under the Harper government in 2014. At the time, they said 5,000 veterans could qualify for one-time compensation. Now, in her travels and talking with veterans, Dwight, Gail met a veteran who said under this, he qualified for $70,000. Wow. So we don't know officially yet, but that's a story that she's heard. And so she just wants to hear from the ministry. She wants to have a conversation and hear back from them. And hopefully that's happening now.
And we'll have the update for our viewers too. Thank you, Shannon.
You're welcome.